is up, THL? It is Derek here from the Leather Hose District, and today I'm bringing you an overview and review of what is, in my opinion, the most beautiful hookah in the world, the Aljamal. You see it in front of me now, broken down. The Aljamal is a CNC'd brass hookah from Germany. It's made in small batch production, like some of our hookahs here, kind of like B2 in a way. Harry Klinger is the owner. I've spoken to him many times. I'm one of the first, if not the first, person in America to get one of his hookahs. It's been the pride and joy of my collection ever since, and in my opinion, the most beautiful you can buy. The goal of Aljamal, which by the way translates to beauty, is to create a traditional pipe in the sense of the style, the design, a little bit the draw, but with the modern features. And that's why you see it right here in front of me broken down, because it can break down and be in different sizes and have a diffuser, things that you don't see in your other traditional hookahs. And that's what makes it so unique. There really isn't any other hookah that I'm aware of in the world that directly competes with this, mixing the modern and traditional. And I think they've done that job basically to perfection, in my opinion. So we have it broken down here in front of me. I also have a scale here because this is, when I say this is solid brass, this is solid brass, and I'm going to weigh it for you so you guys can see just how much it weighs. Now, the Aljamal comes in 3 sizes. Comes in the smallest size is called a Luwaliwa. The middle size, which is what I have, is called the Ard, and the tall size is called the Sioux. Now, the cool thing is, the whole outside is brass and breaks down. That makes it very easy for polishing. You can also see my polishing video I did on this hookah on the THL, the Hookah Lounge YouTube page as well. That makes it really easy to polish. It's a very big deal to me because most of your traditional pipes, for example, like a Shika, is going to be a big hookah like this that you got to polish the whole thing. But I have pieces here that I can polish, and that makes it way easier. Additionally, you don't have to maintain the outside of brass. You can let it tarnish if you want. In my opinion, a hookah like this, you don't want to do that, but it's your prerogative. You can do as you please. I choose to keep it nice and polished at all times. One thing that is a problem for some people with brass hookahs is the inside of the brass. You do want to, make sure you're cleaning and brushing because you don't want the any kind of buildup on the brass. The brass won't rust, but it can build up, different things from reacting with the tobacco and with water. But with this hookah, you don't need to do that. Why? The inner stem is stainless steel. So the entire middle part of this hookah never actually comes into contact with your smoke. And that's a brilliant design, in my opinion. That way you just don't have to worry about maintaining the inside of the brass. You only have to worry if you choose to maintain the inside or the outside part of the brass. Now, additionally, another cool thing is you can purchase 2 different inner tubes. And this allows you to have the full-size hookah. If you buy an Ard or a Sioux, you can have the full-size hookah with this inner tube, or you can have the minimal, which is what I call it, with the smaller tube and only use some of the sections. So I'm going to screw this together. You have a heart here. I'm going to screw this piece here. These threads are very big and beefy. You are not going to cross thread these. I assure you that. You will not cross thread. Have the base tray part. Now I'm going to start with the small version of this hookah. And the bowl port. Now, all I have to do is I take this smaller tube, stick it down. It has a little spot that's going to stop there. And you'll see the threads stick out the bottom. Now, what do you do with those threads? There is a little piece like this that's going to screw into those threads. And then you have a down stem. And with the down stem, you can get two different sizes. One for the 10-inch size Eggerman that I have here, the smaller one, or one for a 12-inch size, your standard American size base, 12-inch size Eggerman. When you buy these from Harry, they typically come with a Bohemian blown glass base from Eggerman. You can choose your color, and he will provide the downstem that's required for that base. You can ask for the other one, and you can also ask for the shorter downstem, the shorter inner tube that I'm showing you now, but you need to ask for that. Now you see this just screws in here. And there you go. You have your mini mall. The tray just sits on top. Nice and solid, not going anywhere. Now I'm going to take this apart and put it all the way together. Before I do that, I'll weigh this for you, what it weighs in the mini mall state. Now this size mini mall is about the size of a Luwaliwal, the smallest size hookah. So I'm weighing this right now, putting this on here. This is just the stem and the inner stem, and this weighs 6 pounds 12 ounces. 6 pounds 12 ounces. This little hookah, 6 pounds, almost 7. So now we're just gonna pull this out. Take off this portion. Have the part that makes this my ard. Screw that in. This goes on. Now I take my bigger inner tube. And then again, screw the downstem in. And you have the Aljamal ard version. Middle-sized hookah, very heavy. Definitely want to lift this hookah with 2 hands. Definitely going to want to lift it, hold it with 1 hand on the stem and 1 hand on the base at all times. Now, I did not put the hose port and the purge port on the last time, so I'm going to screw them in now. Now I'm going to take the downstem off to weigh this. This is stem only with the inner stem, 8 pounds 14 ounces. 8 pounds 14 ounces. So, we have our finished stem right here in the full size. One thing before I go any further, he does now have a diffuser, a machine diffuser. This is a very nice little diffuser. The bottom piece here is about the same diameter as the inner tube, so it's nice and wide, big, clean holes. Very nice diffuser. Does not really change the draw at all, which I really like. And all it has is a little O-ring in there, so you just take your downstem, do this with my right hand, and you just kind of push it on. Very nice, tight fit. It's not coming off. So got that. Now, Harry does make leather hoses. His hoses are traditional in the sense that they're made all entirely of goat skin leather, meaning they're not washable. They're beautiful hoses. I do not own one. I do know that they are handmade, and then his wife actually does all of the stitching, all the decorative stitching and lacing. She does that by hand, and that's something, as you all know, I can really appreciate as somebody who does a lot of that handwork myself. Those hoses will plug right into this port directly. No grommet needed. You can use a grommet on this. It also has its own brass piece for your more modern hoses. Does not really fit my own hoses. I have one hose that it does fit because I've stretched that hose out a good amount. I do have some people who have used this and some people who say it can't fit. It generally won't fit my hose unless you've really stretched mine out, so I don't recommend trying. But it's a nice solid fit there, you can see. So let's finish by putting this together. Put the down stem back on. Now, another feature of the Aljamal. He has an automatic locking system. It's very simple. You'll see on this base, there's a brass piece here. And on that brass piece is an O-ring. Now, this hookah is so heavy that that little O-ring, by just sticking this in here, creates a very good seal. Like this hookah is not moving. You see, I'm turning the base. The hookah is not going to turn. That seal is complete, for sure. That being said, I have one of the early models of this. It is sealed to this base, meaning I would have a hard time using this base with a traditional grommet with any other hookah. What I've seen him been doing lately and giving people the option to do is he'll seal it to the base for you, or you can ask to have this sent separately. You'll put this in with a grommet, and then you can put the hookah on that, or the hookah obviously you can use with just a grommet on any base. I recommend getting this sent without being sealed. The reason, you can see mine, that brass is kind of tarnished, and as somebody who likes to keep the brass clean, I can't take this out and really properly polish that brass. In addition, I think it's a great feature to be able to take it out, not only for polishing, but to put on any base that you may want to use this locking system with. The reason I think the locking system is really good for this hookah is because I don't think, because of the way that it seals and because it's so heavy up top, with a grommet or with this, you're going to get some tilt when you're moving this thing around. I don't think you should carry this hookah like this because I just think it's too top heavy, and it's a very heavy hookah. I think when you're transporting it, you should carry it in two pieces. Carry your base filled with water in one, carry the hookah in the other. When you get to where you're going to be smoking, you put it together, pop the bowl on, and you're good to go. That's how I would recommend doing this. So let's just give you a weight when it's all together. So this is the Aljamal hookah, totally complete, no water in the base, no diffuser on in this case. And it weighs in at 13 pounds, 10 ounces. So over 13 and a half pounds with no water. So we'll do a weight test with the water once we fill this up. That concludes this portion of it, just kind of showing you how this works, the ins and outs of this hookah, what makes it a traditional hookah mixed with modern features. There's a lot of hookahs out there that say they're, kind of follow traditional or tradition. I don't really know or think that they do, but I think this is really the perfect mix of what you expect to get from a modern pipe that can break down and do different sizes and have diffuser, but with the traditional look, the clean lines, and just the overall beauty of pure brass. So that's this part, the overview. We're going to come back. I'm going to pack a bowl. I'm going to come back. We'll weigh it when it's full of water and has a bowl on it, and we'll go over the draw and those different aspects of this hookah. And we're back smoking. before I get into anything else, I'm going to put this on the scale, fully put together. And it weighs in at 18 pounds, 9 ounces. So almost 20 pounds. This thing is no joke. Take it off real fast. Take another puff. The draw. The draw is not wide open like your Regals, your B2s, your VZs. A lot of the pipes that Americans seem to like. The American market seems to really like the wide open draw. I do too, but the draw on this pipe is actually my preferred draw. It's kind of like a tier down below those pipes I just mentioned. Similar to, say, a Union, a Versatile, those kinds of pipes. It's still open, very open, but not quite as open as the most wide open pipes on the market. I have the diffuser on right now. The diffuser, the reason I like it so much is it is quieter, obviously. For me, that doesn't really make all that much of a difference. I just like the way Hookahs draw with a diffuser. But on top of that, it really doesn't change the draw very much. It's a very well-made diffuser, and I appreciate that. A lot of diffusers seem to kind of change the draw and make it a slightly different draw on most pipes. I love this draw. I think people are surprised when you say that it's a traditional hookah with some modern functionalities. They kind of expect that more traditional draw, like your KMs, your Shikas, those kinds of draws. But it's not like that. It is a very open pipe, just not quite as open as the top tier open pipes. I love this draw. The purge is a little more of a restricted purge compared to the draw, but it's very, very good. It clears it in one breath easily. I have a black base on mine, so you won't be able to see me clear it, but I'll purge it anyways. Clear. So easy. Half a breath, really. Purge it again. Done. Now, the purge is very easy, but some people might expect it to be as open as the draw. It's not. It's definitely more restricted. I love the draw on this pipe. I love this pipe in general. It's not my daily driver. I don't think a pipe like this would ever be anyone's daily driver because of the brass. The brass needs upkeep. Simple as that. And for some people, that's an absolute deal breaker. And I understand that because to polish this thing takes probably an hour, maybe a little more, depending on how much you want to polish it. For me, it's like around an hour and a half, somewhere around there. So it's not a daily driver pipe. I don't think it would be in most people's collection. But it is the pride and joy of my collection. It's my favorite pipe, and in my opinion, there's nothing more beautiful than this stem. I mean, just look at it. It stands, just has so much prominence to it, so much class. I really don't think you can get something that looks better than this pipe. And I've had this pipe, I think 2 years this August, and I really don't have a complaint about it. Like I said, the brass might be an absolute deal breaker for some, but other than that, this pipe really is perfection to me. I think it's as good as you can buy. The quality on it is outstanding. Harry Klinger, the owner of Aljamal, is totally reachable on Facebook. I speak to him regularly. He has his own fan base, Aljamal fan base, so you should follow that group to see his product. And I will post a review there as well. To my knowledge, this will be the first kind of look at this pipe in English. So I love this pipe. I would absolutely recommend it to anybody. It is an expensive pipe because of how it's made and what it's made of. It ranges, I believe, and this is an estimate, anywhere between $450 and $600. That includes the Bohemian glass base. You can purchase it without the glass. I recommend you do purchase it with, because he'll make sure that everything fits. He'll make sure you get the right size down stem. But really, you can't go wrong with this pipe. You really can't. I am smoking Alpaca Rose. I have 2 cubettes in the Provost. I have a Magnum Bowl on here. They will be available at the THL Gala in New York City. I can't wait to meet all of you there. They will be $15 at the event, and THL will be the exclusive seller of these bowls in the United States. Even after the gala, they will be available. They'll be $30 a bowl. So we will be selling them at a discounted price at the event. So I recommend you pick one of those up. And any questions, you can reach out to me about this pipe. You can also reach out to Harry. He's speaks very good English, very reachable. He'll tell you anything you need to know. He'll send you all kinds of pictures. He went through so many pictures of glass bases until I finally decided on the black. He was very helpful. He's been helpful all along. He sent me the diffuser just recently. That's a new thing from him. And I can't wait to see what he does next. And I hope to see more Americans picking up this pipe, because it is the best of the best. It really is. When I want to smoke my best pipe, it is the Aljamal. Nothing else competes with it for me. So that about wraps up this review. I'm excited to, show this pipe off. I really think more people should be considering this pipe when they're looking to purchase a very high-end piece. It's small batch production. It reminds me sort of B2 here in America, in the sense that it's small batch. The owner is a part of the community. He's very reachable, and he wants to hear what you have to say and wants to keep making new things. So thanks for tuning in. As always, don't be a loser. Join THL. Thanks, everybody.